Okay. So we're trying it this way. Hopefully this works. How are we doing? Is this one better? Hopefully it is. The only problem is I can't really see it. Oh, okay, no, I can see it on the side, and it looks better. It looks like I'm not getting all that choppiness that I was getting before. The only problem is I don't know where it's catching the audio from, because I can't see like a settings. How's the audio coming in, guys? I need like a but it seems like it's okay. How's everybody doing? Can somebody let me know in the chat that this is actually all going on? Okay, I got a smiley face. That's good. That's good. Let's just see here. Nope, that's not what I was looking for. Is it this? There we go. Can hear us. Okay. Working perfectly now. The only thing is, though, I think it's grabbing the audio intake from my computer and not this bad boy right here, which is what I was hoping for. So it's a brave new world. Trying to find the settings. Because I can only mute. Huh. As much as I love this, I don't. Send feedback. That's not going to help me. Okay. But everybody can hear me? Everybody can see me? I mean, I think the audio is not quite as good as what it was before, because I can kind of see where the audio is coming from. And I mean, if I move my microphone way over here, you guys are probably... Give the mic a couple taps. There you go. Can see and hear you. Okay, can you still hear me now to the same level that you could hear me before? Because I'm holding the microphone out like really far away. Yeah, it's from the mic because you can't hear me. But if I bring it real close, can you hear me now? I'm going to get real close now. It's coming from the mic. Okay, good. Whew. Got scared there for a second. All right. The only thing, though, is I don't have my graphic. How am I supposed to thank my patrons if I don't have my graphic? I think both mics are picking it up. That wouldn't work. That wouldn't. Yeah, you can only really have one. Well, I mean, you could maybe have different audio outputs. I don't know. Anyway, as long as you can hear me, and there's a little scratchy scratch test that I always like to do. Yeah, how's everybody doing? Making sure everybody's doing all right. The other thing is I don't know how to actually input a like a graphic or something because I wanted to thank my patrons. Although, I have an idea. I mean, it's going to be a pretty low tech and not so great, but this will be at least the best that I can do right now. Sorry, guys. I wish I had. I wish for so many things, but yeah, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. No, that's fine. Yep. No thanks. Nope. Okay, so I was really hoping to do this in a different way, but yeah, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Sounds fine. Thank you. Oh, great. So here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to thank my patrons. So I want to make sure that when I hold this up, it actually shows well. There we go. Can you see that well? Oh man, it's is it really a mirrored image? It looks like it's a mirrored image. Yeah, it is. Oh boy. What a week. What a week. I wonder if I can change that. I'm sure I can. Let's see here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh well, it's not a mirrored image. Yeah, it's not mirrored for you. Okay, perfect, great. Oh boy, here I was thinking that it was a mirrored image, and it's not. Okay, so I want to hold it up so that everybody can see. Sorry, one of those days. So everybody can see that. Everybody can see my beautiful, beautiful patrons. Okay, so I'm gonna read out everybody's names because this one here is for Travis, my main man, Trav. Very glad that he was able to donate. Super, super thankful. So thank you to my patrons, Travis, Lausch. I hope I got your last name correct. As well as to all my other patrons, both old and new. Not old as in age, old as in been, classic fans since the beginning. Shouting out Matthew, Aiden, Andreas, Isaac, Anthony, Rick, Kevin, Ted, Emily Yulin, Chris Joggentrum, GRV, Rush 2112, Joseph, Charles, Brian, Mark, Grace, Brian, Jerry, Axel, Joseph. There's Travis again. Calvin, Tomas, Mark, T-Dog, Austin, Depanjan, Tomas, Acid, a new one for us. Didier, Brent, Robert, Patrick, William, who I missed last Thursday, but glad I can get him on here. And a new one, Sean, who came in because I was able to finally update, and because Patreon was not allowing people to make one-time donations, so I now have set up a PayPal account, and I've actually left that down in the description as well. So if you want to do one of those like one-time donations, now would be a good time to do that through their PayPal, because I set up a PayPal account for me this morning. So if anybody made a donation through, I believe it was the tip jar, and it didn't go through, you can do so now on the PayPal. So yeah, thank you everybody. Thank you. I can't thank you guys enough. It really is. It's really meant a lot to me. It really has, especially in this more difficult time. But moving on to something really fun. Travis, the main man today, has asked me to review or listen to Kevin Close's album of Suns in My Eyes, or Suns in My Eyes. Looks like this is his album from 2004. So I'm pretty excited to listen to this. I haven't heard it before. It looks like it's just over a half hour. So yeah, we're gonna get the party started with Veta. Now I don't know what this is going to sound like, but I'm pretty excited to hear what it's going to be. So yeah, and ask some of those questions. Like, let's start this chat going. Also, how's the audio or the audio? How's the video going? Let me know if there's any issues or anything like that. Like I said, I'm trying something a little bit new. So yeah, right off the get-go on this album, I'm feeling a very 70s influence in terms of their harmonizations. Music could be a little louder. How's that? I just moved the microphone a little bit closer to the speaker. Are we good? Again, let me know how the audio is coming through, how the visuals are coming through. Perfect. Okay. How is the visuals coming through? Because on Thursday it was very, very choppy, and I'm trying this whole new YouTube thing. Sounds good. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm getting like a Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young feel, like vibe in terms of the audio or like the vocalizations and the harmonizations. Yeah, it's feeling very like slick. The overlaying of guitars harmonizing there. The video's a little garbly, but there's no choppiness. Okay. As long as it's not like 1 frame per second as it was, way back on Thursday. Yeah, as I mentioned, I'm streaming from my partner's place, and our the internet connection isn't as great as it was in my apartment. So yeah, we'll kind of take it as just an update. My Patreon subscribers, since I haven't checked in, what tier was it since you changed them? Yeah, let me actually just have a quick look there, Joseph. And we'll continue to kind of listen to this. We'll keep vibing away. Let's see here. Where did I put Joseph on my little spreadsheet? Joseph, I don't have anything written down here for you there, bud. I'll have to actually go into my Patreon. Because I know you were the last one to come in, and I think you got let's see here. Oh, unless that's a new Joseph. I've gotten a couple Josephs already. Let's see. Oh, Joseph! Oh, great. I haven't checked what tier it was since you changed them. Great. Yeah, no, it looks like you're getting yourself a live stream and an album review, my friend. Very happy to meet you. Thank you so much, Joseph. That's fantastic. So I'll reach out later on this evening, and we'll solidify what album review you'll be getting. In terms of like, we'll work together to try to figure out a good match for both of us, as well as your live stream. So yeah, it went through just fine. That's great. So yeah, thank you so much, man. That really means a lot. Yeah, in terms of this album, because I do want to spend a little bit of time talking about this album. Really digging it so far. I mean, I know we're only about a song and a half in, because we are now on Hunka Munka. I think that's how you pronounce it. Just straight up acoustic guitar. Very nice. Maybe a little too quiet for some of the more acoustic moments. Okay, I'm going to turn this over. There we go. I want to actually lean the microphone a little bit closer to so that it and I are the same level. I just want to make sure that I'm not drowned out and that it's not drowned out. But yeah, I'm feeling like a very nice acoustic moment here. Like, it's very pleasant. Like, there's definitely a lot of talent behind this. It feels very, I'm trying to think of the right word here, like intimate. And like, I can really get behind this groove. I'm really, really getting behind this groove. Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying this one. Like, his ability to create rhythm and like a very infectious rhythm style within that acoustic guitar is very, very well done. You know, you don't need to be licking away, you know, a billion notes per second in order to really cultivate a raw emotion here. You know, I'm almost getting like a very nostalgic feel to this, you know, like a remembering of the past kind of thing. I really enjoy that. Like, it's got a very nice groove to it. And I also want to know how everybody else is doing. Let me know how everybody else is doing. William, I think you nailed it on the head there in terms of adult contemporary mix with some late 70s vibes. Yeah, like right from the beginning, I was feeling things from like Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, for sure, with that harmonization, and especially within this little bit of a keyboard work. Like, I'm definitely feeling the Neil Young kind of homegrown feel to it, you know? And Travis, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this guy is Canadian. You'll have to correct me, but it does kind of have that Canadian feel to it. A little bit of like that home roots. All right, we're coming into the third track of Wolf World. So I'm pretty excited about this one. And also, if you guys haven't done so already, contemporary musician of mine.
There was a boy.
That's really good. Hunka Munka is the name of a character from Beatrice Potter's Tale. The Tale of Two Bad Mice.
And water.
See, now I'm getting a little bit of like a Fred Penner feel. And if anybody's here Canadian from growing up in the 90s,
when he was finished, he made
getting that storyteller vibe to it.
And sewed the wolf skin onto it, so that his picture
really
was
liking
on
it.
The inside.
Really, really liking that.
He looked into the wolf's mouth.
Oh, right on.
But it was too dark to see.
So a Siberian. How about that?
Each of the wolf's eyes.
No, I'm liking this. This is different. This is very, very different. Right. As I was mentioning, if anybody who hasn't already, you want to give this little thumbs up. Apparently, it helps the algorithm show this to other people. So, and then hopefully more people will join us and have a nice little conversation with us. So, if you haven't already, let's game the system and give this a little thumbs up so that more people can listen to this great music. Because yeah, it's.
So he cut two small holes in the wolf's belly.
I always love a good narrative story.
And pretended.
And
one was a warrior.
This one's really cool.
And the other was a princess.
Ooh, I always like those kinds of stories. The whole princess and a warrior thing.
As he was playing, his sister came walking along.
So yeah, let's how's everybody doing? If anybody wants to ask me any questions while I'm digging this, let me know. Because yeah, I'm liking, again, the guitar works are still the lead character, but at the moment, I know I'm talking over the story, but
Then they
it's a
painted
very like
faces on their fingers.
vivid story. It's almost like
They pretended that there were
a traditional
tribes of
native
people living
story.
inside the wolf.
Very
They played at hunting and hide and
using
seek,
animals,
and war,
that type of thing.
and of being in love.
Really enjoying that.
For hour after hour, they sat blissfully in that empty old skin.
And again, like the guitar work might be the main character, but it's taking a step back right now.
Until finally, they forgot all about each other
So.
and became lost in their make-believe world
someone on this
inside.
track who was well known for being a famous
And
news
they say
broadcaster.
if you look into the northern
I can feel
sky,
that. Like I can definitely tell that
when
this
the
guy
sun
is a
on one edge
trained
of the
storyteller in some way,
moon
shape, or
is
form.
on the other.
So I can
You
definitely see that.
sometimes see their shining eyes still
Because it does have
beaming
like, I know
into the
most
world
storytellers have a very
that they
polished narrative and cadence, but it does feel familiar. So, yeah. Yeah, it was pleasant. Again, that's something that I've really noticed up to this point for this album. So far, most of the tracks have been very pleasant, very very pleasant. I've been digging that. Now we're coming into, I believe, the fourth track of Shannon I Can, and wow, we are taking a 90-degree turn. Goodbye is Hunka Munka and Wolf World, and I'm feeling like a very poppy 90s track. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what this reminds me of. Like it's got a lot more energy, a lot of pop up and go. Like it's quite fast in terms of the tempo. So yeah, it was definitely interesting. Just a change up, right? Like a very quick woof. That's it. It does sound like a 90s sitcom. I can just see all the different characters like doing something, then turning to the camera and smiling. So reminds me of Matthew Street. Yeah. Like I'm almost getting like Blink 182, but like the very softer stuff, but like the less grippy and gritty stuff. Or like a Sum 41, but again, very watered down. Yeah. Like I'm thinking of like Jimmy Eat World or something along those lines. Yeah, so far this is very different from the first three tracks. He has a rock group called the Knobs. Is it the Knobs or the Noobs that expanded a lot more of this kind of style? I could see that. Yeah. Like I'm almost getting like contemporary Canadian artists like Sam Roberts and his name escapes me. The guy that did Ashtray Rock and 3. Scrappy Happiness. Why can't I remember his name? It's on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, that kind of flavor, that Canadian contemporary rock. All right, so the next song, track 5, A Town Called WTF. This will be interesting. We'll see if it kind of stays in that flavor that we had. Same kind of flavor. Okay, so we're bringing it back down. I'm gonna live in a town called what the fuck. Yeah, so now I'm liking this. This is much more of a homegrown, country folk. Again, like very Neil Young. Yeah, this one's much more contemporary Canadian stuff. I gotta double check to see what the why I can't remember the chap's name. Please help me find that little town called what the fuck. Let's see here. Forget my name, call me Buddy, Guy, or Chuck. Joel Plaskett. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Yeah, this one is definitely feeling a little bit more about that. To get around in that old town they call what the fuck. And it's interesting, like listening to some of the lyrics on this one. I'm definitely feeling the northern, well, not like super northern, but like more northern Ontario feel to it, you know? Because I did spend 2 years in Sudbury. Fell in love with the city, but had to move for educational purposes. Just finishing up my school, not to broaden my horizons. So yeah, I'm spending quite a bit of time up in North Bay as well. I'm definitely feeling a little bit. What's the proper term? Like not necessarily nostalgic for it, but I can kind of see where this is coming from a little bit. And if you get old, you go and get yours. I think this might be. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how they live in that 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is the halfway point. So this would be like the ending of the sides there. So, am I in North Bay right now? Yeah. Just for a little bit. And you can bet that when they stick me in the muck. So, yeah. Nothing good will grow, no pretty flowers you can pluck. Yeah, again, I'm liking the different flavors. I will admit the Shannon Can-I kind of stuck out a little bit like a sore thumb. I'm not quite sure if that one quite worked with the overall feel, because I feel like this relates very much better with like Hunka Munka and Wolf World. Maybe it was just the placement of Shannon Can-I. Yeah. So we're coming into the 6th track. If this was on like, because I always visualize albums in like sides, so this would be like the second side of like Splinter. Merge to one surreal moment. It looks like we've got you're lying on the floor. Another narrative. Making a sound like a lost child. That's going to be interesting. I smell cigarettes and alcohol. It's almost like a story. In the doorway, a figure radiates contempt. That's something that you don't hear a whole lot. It's just like a straight up narrative one. And I know I'm removing people from the story. I'm sorry. But I also realize I don't want to get demonetized. Like, I don't think this will get demonetized. Because I hope that Mr. What's his face? Kevin Close will be all right with me streaming this. I hope. But yeah. Not a whole lot of albums have like straight up narratives. Like there's, a handful of narratives that we felt on like Meatloaf's albums. And there was one a couple of years back that I'm trying to remember who it was that had like was it Caligula's Horse that had like almost a straight up narrative one? So anyway, very interesting. Come back now to that night. Again, I think we've lost a little bit of like just a straight up narrative on albums. I blow out the candles and put the kettle on. I also like the fact that like this one, I call everyone downstairs. Like this narrator is different than the one that we heard from Wolf World. Sweet tea. It almost adds a different type of like a different flavor. Like there's more people at the table within this. Yes, you're right, Travis. Andrew's album from 2 years ago, I think 2018. You're Not Alone. That one started off. It had 3 straight up ones. And it's just Kevin here. Okay, cool. And there it is in your palm, looking small against your love. Oh no, I don't want to. In the morning I look. Oh, that's why. But I can't even find kept wondering why my phone would always pop up with their little. I have to say this quietly, or else it'll hear me. Little okay, Google. It's like when there's a dog in the room and you have to whisper going for a walk. Let's see here. Oh, right on, William. Listen to an album, indie album called White Side's Daughter. It's an flavored prog album. I might have to check that out because that sounds really interesting. So now we're on Vermilion. And right off the get-go, I'm liking the flavor of this. I always love a good banjo. And I'm liking what he's doing with it. So it sounds like whenever I say, okay, cool, that's where Of course, it's not doing it. No, it's doing it now. Huh. Okay. So that's why whenever I say, okay, cool, that's where Google jumps up and begins trying to figure out what I'm saying. So that's kind of funny. Fretless banjo. Yeah, I'm liking the flavor of that. I'm actually going to bring that closer so more people can hear. Because it's, like I said, it's more of the quieter point. Like, you know what this feels like? I have a number of CDs where it was literally just the band in their living room recording. And this feels a little bit like that. Like, less so of like the production value, but more so of like the atmosphere that's bringing. Like, I'm feeling like I'm in Kevin's living room with a couple of people, and each one is sharing a different story, and we've got little interludes here and there. That's kind of what I feel, you know? And I will agree with William that banjos are definitely underrated. And underutilized. That was one of the best things about Mumford & Sons for their first two albums was how prominent the banjo was. And then in the last two albums, they've done away with it. I'm like, well, why am I listening to you guys now? Because that was the whole point of why I loved listening to you. But oh well, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? That's their decision. Yeah, I'm also really digging these kind of straight up instrumental pieces. A little bit more on the happy side. A little bit more on the jovial side. Bella Fleck really got me to pay attention to the banjo as a serious instrument. Ah, all right. Fantastic. Yeah, for me it was Flat and Scrubs. I mean, I think that's most people. But I love their compositions, like Turkey in the Straw. Can't go wrong with the good old high caliber banjo play work. But I also really enjoy the more subtle work, because this is folk without being too like bluegrass, you know? Like I'm liking more of the jovial side of things on this. It's getting a little iffy. Uh-oh. I hope not. I hope it's doing all right. Is it doing all right? Or no? Ah. What I will do though is I'll close this down so that it's not double dipping on that. Hopefully that will help solve some things. All right, we're coming into the 8th song, I think. 6, yeah, Saturdays and Cigarettes.
Woke up early on a Saturday.
Yeah, and this is sounding much more singer-songwriter. I'm enjoying that.
I don't know, I couldn't sleep.
Or no, don't do that. There we go.
Afraid to turn on.
Just closing down as many as I can.
But I know what it'll say.
What's my favorite track from Bill Bruford that plays? Ooh, Eller King. There's a fantastic question. You know, I love his playing style off of the Genesis live album Seconds Out for the Cinema Show. I believe that's the only track that he's on that album. And oh man, it just is a powerhouse. But I also love his work on Fragile on South Side of the Sky. I think that really showcases not only his subtlety but also his verbasiveness, and it really shows the overall dynamics of his drumming style. Really love that. Yeah. The riff gave me a Wish You Were Here vibe. Yeah, I can hear that for sure. Yeah, and Travis has mentioned this in the past where Kevin Kloss, is it Kloss? Introduced you to Yes and got you into Zappa. Great man, those are two great artists to get yourself into. And I'm also really liking kind of the singer-songwriter vibe of this. Like, this one definitely matches the overall album for sure. So, yeah, keep those good questions coming, guys. I love answering those types of questions. Like, it's really hard to kind of pinpoint my favorite Bruford moment, but yeah, I think those two tracks in particular really fun of mine. Quarantine beard, I'm growing it out a little bit, but I've been trimming it every once in a while. So I think I've trimmed it a total of 3 times throughout this whole quarantine. So yeah, it's more of the hair. Like the hair is getting ridiculous. Like this thing is just it's out of control. It really is. Like I'm just like like it's bringing me back to like high school where my ears are almost all the way covered. Like it's jeez. I don't know what I'm doing with this. Oh man. Nick Virgilo has some pretty great moments. Yeah, I will agree. Some of his stuff when he was working with Spock's beard is like out of this world. He's really, really talented. Yeah, I'm liking kind of how this feels. Yeah, I saw that you buzzed your whole head off. That's good on you. I mean, I've been contemplating doing that myself, just with how warm it was getting there for a couple of weeks. But now that it's starting to cool off again, I'm kind of glad that I kept the mop that it is. Yeah, I'm really digging this one. It's definitely a lot more heartwarming, and it's very nice. It's very soothing. Yeah, it's very pleasant, very, very pleasant for sure. All right, we're coming into the 9th track of Nova. Let's see what we got for Nova. Okay. Ooh, I like that sound. I like that deep sound. I wonder if this is going to be like Shannon I Can, in that it's going to be one of the more oddball tracks off the album. It seems this year is going to be second half heavy in terms of releases. I sure hope so, because the first half was not good. Like, there are a few alright tracks and releases, but yeah, I really hope starting in July we'll get some really meaty stuff. Although, the new Frost EP is really good. I hope to have a review up for that later next week, because that was very, very mwah. Miguel, no, this is a classic. Well, classic. It was released in 2004. This is an album from Kevin Kloss. So it's been around for, 16 years? Sounds about right. I'm liking this one. It's got... What riff is that? I know that riff. It'll come to me. If somebody, what is that? I know that riff, whatever it is. Didn't like the mix from the new Frost album. Okay, that's fair. It was interesting. Like, I liked it a little bit more than Falling Satellites. But I still need a little bit more time with it as well. So, yeah, I really liked, what was it? No, it looks like we're about halfway through the track. How long is this one then? Ah, nice. It's nice. Yeah, I really liked Personal Shopper, the track that he dropped back in like February. Really, really good. So, yeah, I was really looking forward to his new album, but I think he's pushed it back to 2021. I think it's a little bit later. Is it Frame by Frame that this is reminding me of? I know it from somewhere, and it's bugging me. I know it, but I'm trying to remember where it's from. That That's it. I think it's from Swim to the Moon from Between the Buried and Me. I think that's where it is. That's where it is. Reminds me of a Tool riff. Yeah, but I think that's where I'm thinking of. I think it's Swim to the Moon from Between the Buried and Me. Because that's how it kind of starts off. It's at least that same kind of... So yeah, I'm loving different ones, and I'm really liking Nova. Nova so far has been my favorite track of being a lot more atmospheric. It's definitely kind of on that same oddball wavelength that Shannon Can I, in being very different from the overall feel of the rest. Yeah. So we'll see. King Crimson studio albums or live albums? See, because I've listened to quite a number of their live albums, and the live albums I find are either they're kind of hit and miss because some of the sound capturing qualities aren't necessarily all that great. And to this day, I still haven't heard. I've only heard one version of Starless that was better than the studio recording, because they always seem to like pull their punch at the end. It kind of same with trying to recapture, because it seems like the earlier back you go, the better the performance is, but the less quality of the sound it is, you know? So it's a little bit of that tweak there. But I mean, I think they're both fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. I'll have to. My favorite one was from their their 74 release, because they had 2 performances of that on a double album that I had on a CD back in high school. So yeah, Nova was good, but I think he's using that theme just a little too much. I think they could have done something a little bit more with that. And we're on to the last one, which is Save What You Can. But still, really, really good. Which version of Starless? I believe that was the one, because there's one that has a much heavier hit at the end. Like there's a fantastic build-up and then such a powerful hit with it. I think, I can't remember which one it was now, unfortunately, because I don't think I have the CD anymore. I think I lent it to a friend of mine, and he never gave it back, which is a little bit of a shame, because I really, really enjoyed that.
The river kept on rising.
Okay, I'm liking how this is ending. Again, it's ending more on the footing that I've found throughout the rest of the album.
Filling bags with sand.
And Travis, I will admit, yeah, and I feel like that's something that a lot of bands are doing. Specifically, Yes. And Yes have been putting out like a live album every other year practically. And I can't get behind them, because all that essence and energy is gone. And I think a large part of that is just that it's too slow. It's just, there's no oomph, you know? Yeah. Whereas, like, yeah. That's fair. That's fair. Wetton's voice is very different. I think in certain tracks it works very, very well, but doing their whole catalog in a live version would be harder. Like, I love his vocal work on like Fallen Angel and Starless. Like, I think it's very, very haunting. But I also feel like on tracks like what's that first track off of Starless and Bible Black? Like, I feel like that one's just not quite, you know? So, yeah. Yeah, Jacko, I always want to say it's Jacko. Is it Jacko? I think he's definitely got a really good oomph. Again, it really depends on what energy they're going for. Like, I personally love Greg, but I don't think Greg could have had that same kind of meaty feel that Wetton had, or that same kind of quirkiness that Adrian had, or that same kind of like full-bodiedness that Jacko has, or Jaco. Will I link this album? Yeah, for sure. It's on Spotify. It's Suns in My Eyes from Kevin Kloss. So let me see if I can actually pull that up. So I'm currently just listening to it off of my iPad because, actually, you know what I'll do? I'll put it in the description of this once it goes live. So, unless somebody else wants to do that for me, which would be amazing, I just don't want to bog down my computer with any more processing. Kind of just want to streamline it right to that. Because yeah, I'm really liking how this is closing off. It's very humble, you know. It's very intimate in that sense. But yeah, so it's a good way to end the week off with. Yeah.
That these kinds of things just happen. You've got to say what you can.
That was very pleasant. That was very pleasant. Okay, I'm going to give a quick little wrap up, and then I think we're going to call it an evening, you guys. All right, so let's see what we have here. Very nice. It was a very nice album. And my partner always laughs that like a nice album is always like a nail in the coffin. It's like you don't really have anything better to say about it. But no, I really believe like it's a very pleasant, very soothing, very nice, wholesome album. I love some of the smaller moments. That last track of Save What You Can. I also really love some of the more acoustic stuff like the Hunka Munka and Vermilion. Some of the spoken word aspects as well was really, really interesting, like the Wolf World and the Splinter. I think some of the more singer-songwriter stuff I'm not quite sure about, like A Town Called WTF and Saturdays and Cigarettes were okay. They were okay. I think my favorite track was Nova, even though he overused the main riff there. And unfortunately, Shannon I Can was kind of the sore thumb of the album. I kind of lessened my enjoyment a little bit. I would probably find myself skipping that track more often than not. But William, I think you hit it on the head where it reminds me of a good pub performance. Like kind of coming into a really nice kind of open bar pub, like a traditional English or Irish pub, and just having that gent on the guitar, kind of on a bar stool, kind of in a corner. I think that would be a very pleasant evening. Yeah, really, really enjoyed it. Really, really liked that one. So thank you, Travis, for donating and suggesting that album. I'm going to put my the little doohickey here because unfortunately my live stream doesn't want to make sure. Yeah, it's all there. So I'm going to get down so I can see that. So thank you, Travis, very, very much for donating this evening. So, having to do it this way, but you know what? That's the breaks. That's the breaks. So I'm just going to bring. Where's my cursor? There it is. Okay. So, thank you to Travis as well as Matthew, Aiden, Andreas, Isaac, Anthony, Rick, Kevin, Ted, Bryson, Hemulin, Chris H, Jogginchum, GRV, Rush 2112, Joseph, Charles, Brian, Mark, Grace, Brian, Jeffrey, Axel, Joseph, Travis again, Kelvin, Tomas, Mark, T-Dog, Austin, Depanjan. That's a hard J. Tomas. Oh, it looks like Tomas is on there twice. Well, there you go, Tomas. You get on there twice. Battery Acid, Didier, Brent, Robert, Patrick, William, and Sean. Thank you all so very much for donating, as well as the new patron that I'm going to shout out because he is now on here, of Joseph Hedner. I'll be reaching out to Joseph later on tonight to kind of bring up a good show for everybody in terms of his live stream and his album review. And if you want to be cool like all those people and more, I've left a link down below to either be a patron of mine or if you want to make a one-time donation on PayPal. Both of those options are available to you. So yeah, I think I'm going to call it an evening. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming on out this evening. Hope everybody had a really, really good time. And I hope to do another one probably on Tuesday, maybe. Keep your eyes out. I'll do some social media. Follow me on Twitter. That's the best way to get in contact with me. So yeah, I hope to see you guys out then. And I guess until next time, notes out.